Hello. Uh, I just want to thank everyone for the amount of love and support I have been getting from my two first videos. Um, it's been quite the journey for myself to really be back to where I need to be. Right now is where I need to be, and I want everyone else to know that for themselves. So first and foremost, this video, going from other ones of letting go and forgiveness is key. Now, the biggest one, when you learn to let go of your past and your past traumas and you learn to forgive from every scenario, even if it was your fault or not, take accountability, because when you do that, it creates the abundance and the peace of mind for yourself to start fresh, to start new, to push forward. In these times, it's time for all of us to improve in many different areas. I believe nobody is perfect. And when you set your values and you do not seek nor depend on others, that is the corner chipping stone of where the direction is of your independency. Because things like codependency, which I'll do a video on, that I unfortunately made mistakes of that throughout my whole entire life. When you're independent on yourself and you show yourself and yourself only that you can grow, you can accept where you are, be appreciative of where you are, that says a lot about who you're going to be or who you already were again. So don't live frustrated like something is wrong with you. Trying to prove who you are, trying to convince them to affirm you, let it go. When we seek validation from others, we tend to emotionally decide that we're not good enough. We're not going to be what other people are expecting us to be. But actually, in real state of mind, real happiness, we actually have that emotional state to be like, you know what, actually I can be this, I can be something different. Once we begin this first step process of making a choice, getting tired of being what we don't want us to be, not what others don't want us to be or what they want us to be, what we don't want to be, who we want to be, that is the first step into the pathway of letting go and knowing that we don't need anyone to let us tell ourselves who or what we need to be. Either you take on the shape of your environment or you resist it and transform the renewing of your mind. So basically what I was just saying, start transforming your mind to a different direction. Look, things are going to happen and we're going to get hurt. That is something that I was even blind to for so long. Like I would be like, why is this happening to me? I was mad at my own God for why these things are happening to me. And I just would rely on others for either an explanation, an opinion, or to validate me if I'm doing good. No, let the pain hurt you so you can learn how to understand and to deal with all scenarios better. So we all have fears. Fear, I said in my last video, is the biggest thing to emotionally put us in a state of mind telling us we can't do it, when it's just so not true. The fear of being rejected, replaced, the fear of people you want to accept you but don't accept you. Decisions become illogical from fear. I love that statement because it's Les Brown said that, and he's a motivational speaker. When you become illogical because of emotion, because you're hurt from other people, it puts you in the state of mind saying that, okay, I might not be able to do this, so I give up. I quit. Quitting is the only result you're going to get from quitting is failure. That's it. There's no quitting and then, put it off to the side for later down the road. No, we all need to feel safe and secure. So getting away from fear and looking inside of ourselves and letting ourselves know that our heart and mind is worthy of chance, opportunity is huge. And the biggest thing about feeling safe and secure is when you're not validating yourself from others and you validate from yourself, you will begin to cultivate your mind to look towards you for answers. And that's what I found in my journey so far. My journey has been, my independency is growing, and that became more addictive than anything else. Like I started cultivating to myself, you know what, I can do this. I can move forward. I can help people. I can help myself. I can learn and grow with other people. So creating that journey to consistently learn where things can go wrong and why it happened to what it can be. What can I do differently? And that's something that I think all of us can really resonate with, because it's so easy to make mistakes off emotions, guys. I've done it countless amount of times, in every single, not every single, but most choices in my life. And when I made that decision, no more, that's enough, done. You create the abundance, the mindset, you cultivate your mindset to be something different. And here's a nice little quote to sum that all together. Plant the seed of starting fresh, harvest who you are and who you were, because we don't want to forget our memories. We need that to grow. And water your plants every day. Spend the time every day, like you do watering your plants for your gardens, to grow you slowly. Let's not rush ourselves. Slowly is the best win to the race. And when we look for identity and value in the wrong places, we spend most of the time in our life, sometimes even years, that's what it was for me. We look for answers from people, what we own, where we live, what we did, but never compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to you. Compare yourself from what you were to who you are now, who you can be. And life is so beautiful when we understand that feeling guilty for so long it's literally killing us. It's actually something, when we're feeling anxiety and we're battling a war that we possibly cannot win, it's exhausting. It causes so much for us in our daily decisions, work, relationships, family. It's time to start creating that side of, you know what, let's move forward. And speaking of yourself, like, let's move forward. This actually stood out to me too. Arrogance causes advertising, social media. Confidence speaks for itself. When we're arrogant in our areas, we resort to social media, which is not a real world about how we're feeling and everything. The real world is what your confidence speaks about yourself, through what you think about yourself, how you love yourself, how you value yourself, what your values are when making every decision. Because we encounter 10,000 decisions a day, guys, on estimate, minimal. So our values and how we value ourselves perceives in front of other people. So when we're better on ourselves and we're working on ourselves and we grow on that, that's going to show to other people. And we don't need validation from anyone else. We never did. And, like Joel Osteen said this. Joel Osteen is a preacher that I watch his masses every day. He's either live or he has so much content. Joel Osteen. Our tongues are the routers of our lives. Next time we say anything negative about ourselves, future, or our finances, zip it. Don't steer yourself to defeat. Keep yourself in a state of mind that today is today and tomorrow is a new day. Personally, for me, if I were to recommend something, it's either you look in the mirror, or if you're religious, I literally go on my knees and I pray. I pray that I'm going to have a good day, the grace for today and tomorrow. I pray for everyone that has been or that is in my life, because the practice of forgiveness, the power of letting go, and embracing today. That's where setting values is. You set your values at the beginning of your day. So that way you feel good about waking up. You don't wake up with anxiety and fear and become an emotional state where you don't even know what your day is going to be like. Create the mindset of what your day is going to be like. It's not what we think about people think about us. It's what we think about ourselves. We never need validation from anyone that isn't making the choices in our lives. Guys, people make choices for their lives, and it should never reflect about how our lives deserve to be lived, ever. Now, when you let the reflection of yourself be a positive one, day by day, moment by moment, choice by choice, reflect on it by journaling. See where choices have been made and what could have went wrong. And at that point, you start to realize, holy shit, when you see it day by day, the progress, slowly, don't rush it, slowly. Steve Harvey said, no is not a rejection. Every time you hear no, it moves you one step closer to a yes. Everybody can't say no. I love that, because it's like, we feel that every time we hear no, it's the end of the world, you know, whether you're rejected or someone is not, or you're not hired for a job, or you don't have the opportunity you thought that you were going to get, you know, it could be so, it could mean so many things. But when you get that yes, when you start validating to yourself, yes, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can change. Yes, I can be something better every day. Yes, I'm going to fail sometimes. Yes, I'm not going to please everybody. It's all in us, guys. It's all in ourselves. And when I never decide, like I decide to never give up on myself now. Coming through sobriety, like the difficulty of, you know, drinks are around me, but it doesn't faze me anymore because my values are, I don't need it. I don't want it. It's only going to make me worse. Set your values. Set your values at the beginning of the day, before you go to bed, in your journals. Know who you are. Success is a world for yourself that you want to build it to. Nobody else. This is our world. It's not being stubborn. Sometimes we have to be stubborn in order to be, you know, cultivating to ourselves that we need to be happy too. You know, not in a stubborn, mean way, but like we have to assertively know our position. You know what I mean? So never believe what people say about you. The positive abundance starts in the inside. Our inside is very important, our heart and mind. Two different areas that both need work on. Our heart is going to tell us one thing, but our mind is constantly working. So if our emotions are not in check, if they're not in the place that it needs to be, start with your heart and slowly work with the process of working your mind, your new mindset, like practicing the forgiveness and letting go. Build your pathway towards somewhere better. You know, like I look at COVID now and it's like, we have all this time that we're stuck at home. Why not? Why not take the chance of improving? We are going to fail. We're going to fail sometimes, but when you fail, you need to grow from it. Don't beat yourself down for something that you cannot change. Accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things that you can, the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, love that. So me being very spiritual, okay, I've reconnected with God, and as I continue to pray, I'm seeing my positivity change myself, and it's our values, choices, and ethics that get us promoted. So whatever you believe in, when we have our values, choices, and ethics in check, it takes time. It doesn't take a month. It doesn't even take the time and length in my journey, but I have a start. I have a starting point. There's no ending point. And we don't think about the outcome of our choices. We think about the process. The process is by far more important. Recording about how you're going to do it, where you're going, how you've been doing it, where you failed, accepting it, and the outcome comes through promotion in so many different areas, not just one decision, all of them. And it can be overwhelming at times, but it can really be something divine for you to show yourself, wow, I actually checked this off my complete list. So I did it. Okay, so then a rhetorical question that was asked in one of the videos I was listening to, and it really made me think, what do you care about the most? It's not about being seen. It's about being connected. We don't need our the things that we own, or the things that our memories, or how much money we have to be seen. You know what I mean? I'm starting to learn that silence speaks louder than anything. And what I mean by silence is that our emotions, you know, like us getting angry if we are getting the answer we don't want to hear from somebody else. You know what I mean? It's about feeling connected, like understanding that people are going to have different opinions about you. Not everyone is going to accept how you feel about something, and just say, okay, be open to the idea of judgment, constructive criticism, because when I threw these things to the side, a lot of my conversations, I kind of had one ear and out the other, and then I'd say my opinion. That was so selfish to me, so selfish. And Steve Harvey said that quote, and he's a guy that I would highly recommend that you also look into as well, because he actually speaks so much more than I thought he did in his whole career. Like, it's amazing. So, like my point earlier, not quitting on yourself. This goes for all my videos of never quitting on yourself, because the guaranteed result is failure. Trying will have some failure. Success is never quitting. Never quit on yourself. That in itself, as long as you're never quitting, you're pushing, you're striving, you're wanting to learn, you're educating yourself. Like the book, I've almost done the 12 Rules of Chaos by Jordan Peterson, and he is amazing. He's a Canadian philosopher from Ontario that is all over the world, and his videos and this book, it really sets you to control chaos and order. Set your values, accept chaos, learn to control it, and in the middle is balance. Balance is the abundance of a state of mind where you're happy. You control your scenarios and situations much better, even the scenarios you can't control. And this all comes with patience, day by day. Breathe. It's going to be okay. Develop a state of mind realizing that anxiety does not fix nor come close to solving a problem. You're putting in your mind, if I think about this long enough, I can figure something out. No. I have anxiety. I had it for a long time, and I put myself in dangerous scenarios because I used to worry about what others think, and I still do, but not to the point where it's going to affect me, because guys, the anxiety that we feel because of other seeking validation from things that we don't need kill us. It brings us down. Like when I mentioned in my other video, the luggage that the weight it will carry, it's over time, it's actually more dangerous than in the moments where you're so anxious. It's over time that's the real killer. And when you create that window of opportunity of being like, hey, now's the time to be something different. Now's the time that I don't need validation from others. You validate yourself, and in time, people will see that. I think even this channel where, for a lot of my decisions, they didn't have the best outcome. But now with my choices I'm making now, the process is what I'm thinking about, not the outcome. I can't determine that. My God determines that. But the process, I determine that. Harness time to accept your emotions, patience, trial and error. Spend time understanding that our lives aren't predicted from decisions from somebody else. Don't spend any more time to change other people's minds about you. Be open that people are going to have their opinions about things towards you, just like you do for everybody else. Accept that and be open to understanding how people are going to feel. And you're going to see in time that it's going to create an area that it's like, wow, okay, I'm able to listen to other opinions, because man, I was very stubborn with a lot of my choices in my head. I had no discipline, no self-control, and I needed answers from everybody else, and I was never finding answers from myself. And for the last point, guys, don't let people attack your spiritual battle on their beliefs. You'll never win. Focus on you becoming a better person through your higher power. Whatever you believe in, for me it's God. Whatever is your higher power, look towards that to start the shaping out of your choices moving forward. We don't need to feel anxiety. We don't need validation from others. This is your life. Live it. And set your values. Wake up in the morning, go to bed with values. Look at how your day was. Don't get upset about it if it wasn't the best day, because tomorrow is another day. Thank you guys for this video, for joining me in this video. Please subscribe, comments, share. Let me know what you think, because I'm going to be having a lot of videos for the next month to get this going and to get where, because every day I'm doing the studying and the research, and I'm going to be having so many more topics on not just my journey, but what people are talking with me about, not their situations, but the topic of it, of where we all can improve, myself including. Nowhere near perfect. I'm a guy that's growing, and I want to grow with you. So be part of the journey. Subscribe, share, like. Thank you, guys.